Good morning. Welcome again to another edition of the GDFL Footy Focus. Yes, it's Easter, and of course we've got our Easter eggs in front of us. I've got my little bunny here, which I have appropriately named Jason. Yes, Jason Bunny. Don't know why, but you'll soon find out later on. And of course, last week we did have a magnificent opening round of local footy with the Winchelsea Blues. They were too good for the Geelong West Footy Club out at the Church Street complex under lights. North Geelong opened their account, defeating Inverleigh. Toddy the Body, the nephew, yes, the big fella, kicked 7 goals. Thompson out at Thunderdome defeated the Anarchy Roos. East Geelong, too good for Werribee Centrals. Scrubblake, the big man, BOG on magnificent effort by Adam. Belpo still out at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, far too strong for the Belmont Lions, with Andrew Venner kicking a lacy 5 goals. And Bannockburn Tigers defeated the Cry Devils out at the Devils Playground. Ben Naylor kicking 7, and the Evergreen Peter Riccardi kicking 5 goals. Well, good morning. My name is Dick Philpott, and once again I've assembled the biggest names and brains, well, the biggest names anyway, in local football. First of all, a very big welcome back to the man himself who was absent last week. Good morning to Dale Smith.
Yes, good morning, Dick, and nice to be back now. It's been a while since we've been sitting in the chairs again, but looking forward to another year of football.
Yes, it's great. I've still got my couch here. Actually, got me out of the big chair from last year. I don't know what the story with that is. And, of course, we welcomed him back last week. Great to have him back again. Did his first call in a couple of years last week out at Corio, and I know he's excited, and he's got his big egg because he is a big egg himself. And, of course, we speak of Jason Doherty. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Dick. Nice of you to take a breath too there. That was good.
Fantastic. And you enjoyed your first call for many years once again out at Corio on Saturday?
I did. It was good, yeah. It was good to be back and good to have the boys in the box, and it's just like old times there. Yeah, it was good.
Absolutely. And once again, welcome to Jake. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, Dick. Obviously a big weekend last weekend, and we got the week off for Easter this weekend. But yeah, looking forward to getting back into it in a fortnight's time.
Indeed. Well, we'll just have a quick look at last week's game. Something we won't be doing all year, folks, but because we haven't got a round of matches on this afternoon, we're taking Easter break. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in our controversial segment. But first of all, a very good win to the Winchelsea Blues against Geelong West, who are looking to get off to a good start. Jason, Winchelsea may be looking the goods at this stage a little bit.
Well, it's good for them to have a first-up win after not winning a game last year, so good for them to get away. It was all square at half-time, but then after that they pulled away, which was good, and obviously some of their new recruits have clicked well and early, which is good, so they would be disappointed they probably got a week off, really.
Indeed, and of course I saw the North Geelong Magpies. They were pretty well sensational against Inverleigh, and I'm not biased, of course, but they did play very, very well indeed. Hutchie best on the ground without any problem whatsoever, but Toddy Elsie kicking 7 goals. The nephew did a very, very good job. Frank Foppiani, I know, would be very, very impressed with the way the boys have started the season off for 2009, but it is only early stages. But from a North Geelong point of view, the big Magpies very, very happy indeed. Thompson out at the Thunderdome. Well, they're back in town again. Of course, they're a very exciting side. They know how to turn it on, and of course, poor old Gavin Abib out at Anarchy wonders what's going on. He was hoping to get the season off to a good start. Dale, Thompson, well, they're pretty awesome when they get going, aren't they?
Yeah, look, Dick, I suppose over the summer people were talking about the players that they were going to lose and had lost, but again they've sort of come back. Anarchy, I suppose they're in the same situation as they were last year. They'll need to rely on those guys up forward to be able to kick a number of goals. You know, Sluggett's done the job again this week. Nemptis is another bloke that's been regularly kicking goals for them. But last year they played a bit of a chip and run game. As I said, it'd be interesting to see them over maybe the next 2 or 3 weeks if we get a chance to have a look at Anarchy. But Thompson, they'd be pretty happy the way they started, and Glenn Wallace leads them well.
Indeed, and I alluded to before that a magnificent game by Adam Scrubblake, best on the ground for the East Geelong Eagles. They knocked off Werribee Centrals. Every year we're not sure what Werribee's going to do because they've got an enormous recruiting ground up there. We don't know much about it. They don't make the local papers, but East Geelong were far too strong, Jake, and it looks like they'll also be, well, they're actually favourites for the grand final this year, but they weren't too bad on Saturday.
Yeah, me and Jace last week tipped them as the flag favourites. Obviously, Werribee started
that stuffed them up for them.
Werribee obviously started very strong. They were actually leading at quarter time from memory, but East Geelong just far too good. They pulled away, and I think that they'll obviously, as I said, they'd be rightfully premiership favourites at this stage.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, the 94.7 match of the round, the first one where the boys got out and exercised their vocal cords, and poor Jason got tonsillitis, which we're all feeling very sorry for him. Not. And the Bannockburn Tigers were absolutely sensational. And the fact that the old the old warhorse himself, Peter Riccardi, was absolutely sensational, kicking 5 goals. Jason, good to see him running around in the paddock again.
Look, it was great, and we wondered where he was going to start. He started in the middle, which was good to see, and he had a good run there, and then he went up forward, and they just basically blew Corio away in the first half. They were just fantastic. You see Daniel Gibbs on screen there. He had a field day across half back, him and Chris Reek, and they just were able to propel most of the Corio attacks pretty easily. And their midfield, their new recruits, they'd be unbelievably happy with their new recruits. Jason Drake in the middle, Riccardi, Matt Tui at centre half back, no nonsense, just ran straight at the ball and just pushed it upfield. And they really showed Corio a clean pair of heels for most of the day. And it is with most games after half time, Jake was willing them on, the Devils, but they were gone for all money, and they really completed a good 4-quarter effort, the Tigers.
So, Jake, the willing them on didn't help them, mate?
No, they were just nowhere to be seen. I just wanted to see a competitive game, really, but no, they just couldn't deliver for me.
What do you think, Dale? Bannockburn looked pretty strong at this stage?
Yeah, they did, Dick, and I suppose it comes back to the situation where Corio played, I think 3 or 4 of their under-18 kids that had already played in the under-18 game and played senior footy, and that's probably a bit asked to do. Their body size was a lot different, and that's probably something Corio have had in recent years. They've had the older, experienced players. They've got a lot of players that come back into that side. A couple of blokes, probably 50-50 whether they'll actually turn up and play or not. I'm not too sure what their situation is, but they're going to need to get those senior players back in towards next week. I think they had 8 or 9 players around about the age of 20 and under. And as I said, by as the game wore on, the bigger Bannockburn blokes, just the body toll was too big.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to come back later in the show because we haven't got any matches to preview today. Have a little bit of a look in depth in some of the clubs one by one to see how they're going to be travelling for season 2009. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, it's a return of Dale's under-18 segment, so don't go away. And we're also going to count our Easter eggs. We'll back up.
The operators from all around.